Hello, my beautiful Leo Pride. It is wild to be sitting back here in this space, holding this space with you after these last months of just taking a breath and continuing to follow this natural evolution. And I know so many of us are going through a natural evolution of how we share of our spirits in this lifetime right now. And I think September is going to be a wonderful chance for us to get a lot more clarity on that evolution of how we share of our beautiful spirits. I'm really excited to walk through this with you and explore it with you. So let's get into it. So we've just left Leo season, right? And Sun and Venus are both now going to be in Virgo at the beginning of this month. And Virgo season, I think, is a really tender place for Leos. It's a place where we connect with our self-worth, where we let ourselves be who we are, where we commune with the parts of ourselves that maybe do feel unworthy, unlovable, unsafe, and where we also, just as importantly, develop new skills for understanding our worth in this life. There's a full moon in Pisces near the beginning of the month, the 10th of the month, and that is a transformational moon for Leos. This is about shedding a skin, understanding our transformation and integrating it at a deep level. The other main component of September is going to be the Mercury retrograde, of course, which starts off in Libra on the 9th, and by the 23rd, we'll move back into Virgo. This is a really interesting interplay of energies. The Libra-Virgo interchange of energies this month is going to be in a conversation all month. This is going to start off in the way we use our voices and the way that we communicate and share of our spirits in a way that others can understand and hear. And then that Mercury retrograde is going to go back into Virgo, where it's going to be about integrating our worthiness and sharing that voice, our worthiness and sharing that spirit, our worthiness in having the spirit we have. And then as we hit the equinox, this is a calibration point. This is a meeting point between this worthiness of sharing our voice and what we want to share our spirit, what we want that sharing of spirit to look like. And as we move into Libra season, we'll have the Sun, a new moon in Libra, and Venus moving into Libra at the end of the month, signaling a time of deep spiritual blossoming when it comes to how we communicate and share our voice. All of this got me thinking about just the Leo journey. And I think the key to this whole process this month is to loosen our grip. This was a theme that came up in the Leo season as well, and it's showing up here again. And what I mean by loosening our grip, obviously letting go of holding on to our narrative arc so tightly. You know, Leo's, it's so vulnerable. I think Leo is so often associated with big confidence and that kind of self-belief that, you know, is unstoppable. But the truth is that Leos inside are grappling with how to deeply embody that never failing self-confidence. That's part of the journey. If you have Leo energy, you're learning how to embody that level of confidence, which means that there's a part of you that is also having to go through an alchemical integrative process in order to do that in this life. And I think it can be really vulnerable to get into that trusting space and let go of the grip of the story that we have. And I think one of the key ways to do this, honestly, because just asking for us to let go of the story and just be like, whatever, that's kind of vague. Start looking at all of the clues in the environment around you. There is a lot with you already, Leo. It's right there with you. Now, it may not be the whole story. You may not have all the ingredients yet for how your spirit is evolving and the skin you are shedding and who you are becoming. That's fine, but you have a lot of clues and information with you right this second. The thing is that we have been culturally trained to ignore these things. They're not real information. They're not telling us anything. That subtle hint that my body is giving me isn't really important enough for me to make the shift. 3 of Pentacles, I love it. That longing is something that I can't even entertain at this time because I'm busy with this. We're often told to just move on, or just, I don't know, just ignore all these little clues and hints. And there's really very little in movies and televisions on the internet that is going to mirror for us this practice. Of course, there are meditation teachers and there are reflective people, but in general, there isn't a big representation of this practice because it's very quiet, it's very subtle. It takes a lot of self-trust. 5 of Wands, very interesting. It takes a certain level of letting ourselves just have the knowing. But this is a great way to loosen our grip on the story, because by starting to work with the elements that are already trying to speak with us, and then 2 cards just flipped out. The Chariot and the Tower. All right. This is a really interesting dialogue going on here, because there are things being built and things being transformed all at the same time. Don't let it scare you. That's not what we're here to do. That's not ever what readings are here to do. And I just want to be clear about that. We don't do that here. Learning to listen to those cues and that knowingness is a real gift and a real skill set. And it's one that actually will allow us to commune with how we are evolving in a really natural, incremental way that doesn't involve us having to come to really deep crises. And you're allowed to do this. I just want to give you permission. You're allowed to do this. You're allowed to listen to the knowing. So let's look at this, because what's really interesting about the cards that wanted to come out is that it's a modulation between harmony, working together in balance. We have the 3 of Pentacles and the Chariot, and strife, battle. And I don't think this is literal. I mean, the thing is, all my work is about how we commune with ourselves, how we're feeling in our relationship with ourselves. The 3 of Pentacles is about beautiful work together, right? This is about that communion that we have with others when we create. This is a flow card. This is when things are working. This is when things just work and we feel good in it. Whether that is a project that we're doing with other people, or a project that we're doing with ourselves, or an element of our life that we know what this feels like, because it doesn't feel like that pit in our stomach. It just feels easy. It feels good. Showing up to it feels good. It's working. And then we have 5 of Wands in contrast. This is something that feels like we're in a bit of a tussle with. We can't come to clarity with it. Every time we try and go do it, even if it's I should be comfortable with this, I should be fine with this, it feels a bit rough. We feel agitated. We feel that tightness in our body. We feel that resistance. We feel that tension. And I think this is a really great illustration of kind of 2 different ways that we may be experiencing the world and paying attention to this information. 5 of Wands can also be something that needs to be said, or needs to be expressed or clarified or honored within ourselves, that has been longing for expression and clarification, and we just have not wanted to allow ourselves to say it or feel it. So that might also come up. Now I want to address the Chariot and the Tower, because I know these are loaded cards, especially the Tower. Here's the thing. The Chariot is about that path that is clear. It feels right. It's connected. It's balanced. We can see ourselves on it. When we are in alignment, we just feel it. The Tower is about a path that is not serving us anymore and is starting to feel like it is tearing us apart inside. What I'm seeing, Leos, is this. You're growing. You're changing. You have grown so much this year. You've learned so much this year. You've embodied so many different things. And there are certain parts of yourself that you are forcing yourself to keep doing, to keep being, to keep showing up for. And these don't have to always be big things. The thing is that there's no like big or small in the world of energetics. It's like if we keep going to hang out with that person, that friend, that colleague, whatever, and it's just wears us down, that is sucking our life force out, right? If we keep going to the same class and it just feels horrible, if we keep, looking at our phones and it just feels horrible, these things have an impact on our energetics. So all that's really happening here with this reading is just a reminder that you've grown. Your shape has changed, your energetics have changed, and it's okay to grow with that and to go with the things that feel good, to go with the things that feel like love and truth, and to question the things that constantly feel like serrated edges cutting into you. And that's it. That's the whole story. I hope you have a beautiful September. I would love to see you over on my Patreon, where we hang out every single week. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram, I'd love to see you there as well. I hope you have a beautiful September. I'll leave all the links for where to find me. I hope to see you here again very soon for our next conversation. And just take such good care of your beautiful Leo spirits, and don't let these cards get in the way. I really do feel like one of the things that's important in the work that I'm doing right now is that these tools have often been used to compound trauma and to get us primed to repeat traumatic cycles. And I don't want to do that anymore. So in having a reading with the Tower, I just really want to affirm this is the innate process of understanding ourselves and where our soul is really leading us. And I just want to conclude with that. But I'm sending you so much love, and I hope to see you here again very soon.